Oh dear, dear, no pressure. Hope you hear me okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Theresa. I'm an alcoholic. Grateful to be here. Grateful to be sober because of a loving God. Ali, you already got me crying. Oh, thank the fellowship of the Spirit and everyone who's being of service today and all the great speakers. I got to jump in towards the end of Polly. Love her dearly. I missed the first one, I think, before her. And yeah, I'm like, how can I follow our last speaker? I'm like, come on. He's just so I call him the Buddha boy. He's like a Buddha. I'm kind of I don't know where I'm gonna be all over the place, but just everybody bear with me. I'm raw, I'm emotional. So I was telling Ali, talk about transparency. I think I didn't realize the other day. I was in an emergency room and I had to speak, and it's been really crazy for the last week. So I want to welcome anybody who's new. Welcome home. Please keep coming back. We've been praying for you, and the program really does work one day at a time. The war is over, man. You know what I mean? I like how Calvin says, welcome home. The war is over. Lay down your arms and embrace us. And just take one step at a time, one day at a time, and it's going to be all right. All the old timers, thank you for my life and my sobriety. I'm so grateful that you keep coming back under all conditions and circumstances. And that's why I'm showing up. So many old timers continue to be there regardless of what's going on in their life. And they teach me that that's what we do. And that's how we stay sober. So thank you. Let's see where we go with this. I mean, I struggle. I'm kind of like, oh, I just got so much going on. I just want to stay quiet. And right before, when I saw we had like about 5 minutes, they called me and I was waving at mom on FaceTime. She hasn't started the surgery yet. So just as a little quick, I would say I'm in DEFCON 5 right now. So I put it in certain categories. I'm in DEFCON 5. And so they may call me at any moment and I just need to be ready. You guys, this is the treasure map, right? Treasure map of recovery. And as I reflected on that, as I was listening, how do I show you how I've used this treasure map, the tools laid out for us in the program of recovery? My sobriety date is March 29 of 1990. God willing, one day at a time, I'll be with you 32 years, but right now I can't count it. I'm only here 31. And before I came to Alcoholics Anonymous, I had a treasure map. I had a tool map. I had directions, and that was living in alcoholism as the only way to breathe and exist, being born with alcoholism, like literally addicted to alcohol. I drank and did it every single day, and that was my direction. Alcohol gave me every direction in my life, and my reliance and dependence was upon it without negotiation nor compromise. And all the other tools that I learned along the way on how to live my life for 24 years was taught to me through others, whether it was family or friends. And Alcoholics Anonymous, we call that dysfunctional. And that was a way of life, whether it was selfish and self-centeredness and self-seeking, dishonesty and fear. In order to survive sexual abuse, physical abuse, and verbal abuse. And there were ways and mechanisms in which I was able to get through those experiences, whether it was detached and disconnected, to dress up my outsides and be totally separate from my insides, as though there was non-existence within me. I was a human doing rather than a human being. Consequences never got my attention. Incomprehensible demoralization was a daily living. And when alcohol was through with me and abandoned me and left me emotionally retarded, I didn't know what else to do because I have been living that. I came in this world with alcohol, man. And so I had no other tools designed for living. Those were my tools designed for living. And when death wouldn't take me out of this planet called Earth, because I couldn't breathe anymore, I was picked up and dropped off in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. And we talk about living 2 lifestyles in 1 lifetime. And when I arrived here, I was a blank canvas. I had no other point of reference. I had no other language other than my alcoholic life. Within those 24 years, I believe there was a couple of people that planted seeds, and that was my father and my grandmother, who were spiritual people. And I say they planted seeds because I don't remember paying attention to their wisdom, their grace, their compassion. It only began to flourish as I came into the program. And when I walked into these rooms, I literally switched the bottle for the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. I mean, I'm very visual, and that's how I saw it, because I have no in between. There was no resistance. Like, what was I to resist? What was there to negotiate for me? The only life that I knew was that life. So therefore, this was the new life. And all that I had been living, there is nothing that I could have taken from that life into this one, because it didn't apply. The only thing I needed to do with that life that I had just come from living, if anything, was to use it as an experience. But I could, all those tools, all those ideas, they did not apply in this world and in this life. And it was very uncomfortable. But at the same time, it was refreshing to me, because it was something new. Everything, I was like a child in awe about the language you spoke, the way you explain alcoholism and spiritual malady. It had been fascinating to me. I didn't even know this world existed. Did I fall in love with alcohol? I don't know. I just know that this is all I had. And so I picked up these tools, laid at my feet, and I walked with another alcoholic who was armed with facts about themselves. And I trusted your experience, and I looked to see where it was with my experience. And I wanted to find this power that you said lied inside of me, and I saw it inside of you. And that this journey in recovery and these 12 steps was about tapping into a source of power. And I understood it as another one, because when I came to you, I knew I had other higher powers. And it wasn't because I was Catholic or Santeria or Ifa, my spiritual practices and religion. It was because I understood, when I looked at my relationship with alcohol, that was a higher power. Whether it was money, property, prestige, sex, relationships, alcohol, extracurricular activity, my complete and utter reliance was upon it. It was my puppet master. And I now needed to go on this journey to tap into this source. But this was an interesting source of power that you found here. This source of power needed your permission. It walked hand in hand alongside of you. It asked that it be sought after, and that I remove anything that blocked me from that genuine, what is it? My sponsors say, we're going to get to your authentic self, the authentication of what is. And I needed to go on this journey, and the steps helped me to go through that. That's the pathway. That's the roadmap. That I love how you say it's not the answer. Self-knowledge serves me nothing. I'm highly intelligent, always have been. My resume is outstanding. I had to leave my resume at the door. I love the simplicity. It was like, just read the black on the white and do what it says. For the most part, I didn't even have to understand it. I just needed to do it. Most of the language in that book, I'm telling you, when I first went through learning about it, I wasn't like, oh, I get it. That makes sense. I was like, that's a foreign language. I don't even know what it's I never heard of it. Never heard of it. I don't even know what it's talking about. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to see what happens. And I learned that this was a spiritual program of action, and that I take the action and then I have this experience as a result of it. And for 31 years, I've been on this journey of having these experiences. And then I need to practice them in my life. Just like I turned to a drink to talk to you, I needed to turn to the steps. If I needed a drink to go out, to go to work, to engage in the world, I needed the steps to do the same thing. I literally replaced one for the other. And so in every area of my life, it was like, where does this step apply? What do I do now? I got to go inward. And the answer lies within. So in order to go in, I got to clean house. How do I clean house? You give me a step. I mean, I just love it. You know, you do inventory. It was just like so cool to me. It was like, oh, okay. And that's what I've been doing. And I've been through a lot in 31 years. I tell you, the place that I'm at today with this, my mother right now, I had to decide on a surgery. She has a hemorrhage in her brain, 2 different types of surgeries, and not having one is not even an option. I was telling the doctor, it's funny, my mother is an alcoholic in recovery. Mommy's funny. She's always told me, you know, no matter what, you need to maintain preservation of life. And I don't care if I'm in life support for the rest of your life. Now, that's a little selfish. That's only an alcoholic would say that. Really? Seriously? Not that that may be possible, but that's where she comes from. So it's not an option not to do anything. And it's about what's best for her, not what I want. And I have a love and hate relationship with my mother. Most of you know my story is my mother's the alcoholic who gave me alcohol and hated everything about me, my existence. And the dance that her and I've been doing for 56 years of my life have been quite interesting. Recently, when I talked to my sponsor, I called them and told them what was going on. And I said, man, I had a minute, y'all. I had a minute where life seemed to be chill, boy. I'm telling you, I had a moment where everything seemed to be coming together. I didn't have to trip on nothing. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yep, you had a minute. That minute is gone. I'm like, yo, God, what is this assignment? The only thing that has sustained me throughout all these years is practicing these steps in my life. I have not had the luxury of resting on my laurels, not cleaning house, not being of service. I get jealous when people do it. Not that I do it perfectly, but I can't get away with it too long because life be in session, man. How have I applied these steps in my life, this treasure map to what is the map? What is the treasure, man? Sobriety. The treasure isn't even getting a job. The treasure isn't that I'm going to have relationships with family. I've been homeless in sobriety. I've been financially bankrupt. I've had people betray me, character assassinate me, throw me away like an old piece of rag. Conspiracies. I mean, that's not what you guys guarantee me. That's not the treasure. I have fallen in love, fallen out of love. I've had people love me and hate me. That's not the treasure. The treasure is sobriety. That a drunk like me is going to eventually recoil from it like a hot flame. That the thought will not occur to me to drink. Instead, I'll have an intuitive thought. I will think of others rather than self. My alcoholism is rooted on selfish and self-centeredness. And as a result of this, what happens? I become other-centered. And alcohol is not my go-to. That's the miracle that happens around here. I get frustrated. I get disappointed. I get angry. But I don't drink. Today, I'm not sure. You know, when Ali told me, are you going to be able to come? I was like, I don't know. Because, see, I have to live in the moment and one day at a time. I don't know what God's plans are for me today, this moment, right now. I don't know what my assignment is. So it's imperative that I continuously practice these steps, because that's the only way that keeps the channel open. To me, it's like a radio, man. You know what I mean? I need, it's like a radio. I can't have no static. Especially when stuff hits the fan. Like as soon as I came from the emergency room and they were taking her to ICU, I remember I called Rick. I was like, it's funny. I was like, and I've done that before. Ralph or Rico, I'll call somebody and be like, I need your undivided attention because I need to do a fifth, because I cannot go back in that hospital if I don't clean house. I don't know how to do things like that, because what I've learned is that when I do that, I'm in collision with something or somebody. My defects of character will show up. I'll start playing God and everybody's in trouble. And insanity will return and I'll drink again. That can't happen. Let's clean house. Let's see what God has in store for me. I haven't gotten there completely. I'm all over the place right now. I'm not sure about nothing. I got question marks. And I remember my brother telling me sometimes that's the best place to be, because that means I ain't cocky. You know what I'm saying? When I got question marks. That's when I'm like, I don't know. I constantly have to ask myself, ask God, let's remove what's standing in the way of my usefulness, and then you'll tell me my assignment. I mean, recently I was in this place going, is this my assignment? Is it my assignment to be responsible for what's going to happen to my mother and make decisions? I don't know. Maybe it's not my assignment. That's uncomfortable. So much fear comes up. What do I do with that fear? I ask myself, where is it? Where is it coming from? What do I do to manage that fear? It's not working. I'm finite. God is infinite. Please remove my fear that I'm gonna make a bad decision. My mother's gonna die. I'm in trouble. Move my fear that, oh, everybody's gonna hate me. Oh my goodness, so many fear. Please remove them. Please, it's not working. It's not work. It won't work if I do things in fear. God sends me angels. I was listening to Polly talking about asking for help. Someone was telling me that, like, you should ask for help. I'm like, in Alcoholics Anonymous, I have learned to ask for help. But what happens when there is no help? Where's God in that? I've experienced where I've gotten a lot of help and people play God in my life and I didn't even know it. Each and every day, I stand at the turning point. I need to ask God's protection and care with complete abandon. That's not easy for an alcoholic like me. I have a disease that is centered in my thinking. I say, this is where my disease has toys to play with, for it'll take real life situations and just have a field day. Can't differentiate the true from the false, yo. It's easy when it's a figment of my imagination. You know what I mean? I'm like tripping on stuff that ain't even happening. But when stuff is going down, I'm so glad that I'm rooted in a spiritual program of maintenance, you know, of this maintenance, because it needs to be in cement. I can't now be in these situations and go, oh yeah, that's right. Now I'm going to start working this program. I think it has to do with my feet are trained, right? My feet are trained. My feet go whether I don't want to or not, right? Just like I'm showing up here. My feet are trained. Every part of me what I want to do, what is it that I really want to do? I want to crawl up in a hole, straight up, y'all. I want to crawl up in a hole and disappear. I'm tired. I've been doing this for a long time. I was telling the doctors, maybe I'm burnt out, yo. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this since 2005, setting up hospice, making decisions. People are done. I just want to disappear, but my feet are trained. I'm not vaccinated. So sometimes I can't go there. I got to run and go get tests. I just came from getting a test. Every day I got to get a test. They're not testing. My feet are trained. I don't want to get a test. What do? Okay, God, what do you have me do? What will you have me be? What do? I show up and find the test and get the test. I don't want to go to hospitals. I'm sick of hospitals. Every beeping sound, the color of the walls, the smell in that room brings back all the other lives that I've had to live in those hospitals with. Well, my feet are trained. I suit up and I show up and I ask God, what do I do next? Despite me, despite what I want to do. And then I become transparent. I show up here right before I'm like, let me see if I could pull this off and pretend to share something. I don't know. I don't know. I want to sound like the Buddha that just shared. And I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't sound like Buddha. Not right now. This is where I'm at. God, what will you have me be? What will you have me do? What is this message you need me to share? And maybe all y'all, I could be arrogant. Maybe y'all to save my life today so I don't drink. Y'all all doing a 12-step call on me. And I remember doing that. My brother was in the hospital on life support, and I was in meetings, boy. My sponsees was scared for me. And the fact was that I showed up. And many times they said they would hang up from this. We used to do Skype. And they would click off from Skype going, I'm worried about her. Because I used to sit there going, yeah, whatever. Let's do the serenity prayer. You know, it's like, yeah, whatever. But my feet are trained. I show up. I don't know how not to do this program. I don't know how not to give it away. I answer the phone when sponsees call. The only difference today is I just tell them my patience is limited. You know, at least I give you a disclaimer. You're going to have to get to the problem. I'll tell you the solution, but I can't have no lifetime channel conversation because I'm going to hurt your feelings. You know what I'm saying? I don't have it. What's going on? Let you know. Read that page. Read me your 5th step and let's move on. Because too much happening for me right now. I've been scared. Where am I at now? I don't know, you guys. The transparency, the honesty this program has given me. That I have the ability to even tell the doctor, I don't trust this hospital. My intuition, my gut tells me mommy's not safe. Help me to get there. I believe that I'm at fault here too. That's how transparent you guys have given me. I believe that my perception is distorted. I am sensitive and emotional, and I'm not sure if I'm hearing everybody right. I don't know if it's all of you. It could be me. And right now, I don't have the ability to discern, so I need help. I need compassion, tolerance, patience. I can't do it for everybody. Help me. I'm unable to make decisions unless it's solid in a power greater than me. Because when I do it in that place, I have no regret. I can look anyone in the eye and know that God is. And that's what I've been doing the last few days since they showed me mommy's brain scan. I took her to the hospital thinking she had a urinary tract infection. Neurologist came to me. I did say to him, I appreciate, I'm sorry, whatever, I'm not gonna say it. I was like, I'm glad you're black, but I don't know if they send you because you're black, but whatever. Uh, and they put the scan and he showed me all this blood in mommy's brain. It's covering half of her brain. Half of her brain is mush with blood. And I said, you gotta give me a minute. You gotta give me a minute. Just give me a minute. And I had to step outside and clean house. What do I do with that? What do I do with that? All right, God, what we doing? So I can step back in there and show up how you need me to show up. Then I have to call my sponsor and be transparent. You know how long I have been wanting mommy to die? That's a trip, yo. You know what I'm saying? What? I called Rico. I was like, do I care about her? When did that happen? Are you serious right now, yo? I have love for this woman. When did that happen? Check that out. I'm having a new experience, y'all. What? What is going on right now? I actually love her. Y'all. Rico, Ralph is shaking his head. Okay, I'm just having a moment, y'all. This is surprise to me. Now, so many people have said you've watched me care for her and you can't love someone the way I've been caring for her. But I'm telling you, I didn't even know. I was being of service to God, man. I was showing up because I needed to be of service because that's what I learned around here. That regardless what I think, regardless how I feel, God, please remove all that and give me a purpose and make me useful. And I did not know that God, I never know God's big plan. Do you know what I'm saying? His overall plan for all of his children was for us to be here. I love Alcoholics Anonymous because you give me tools designed for living, because other people have experiences that can share with me, so that I know that I'm never alone, that there's always hope, there's always possibility. But I gotta live this thing, not talk about it. I gotta live it. And sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's hard. And that's when I need you the most. So this is where I'm at today. I have no idea. I don't know nothing about nothing right now. And that's happened to me before. Where I have all these question marks in my life. Where I'm gonna do, where am I gonna go, who's gonna live, who's gonna die, what has to happen, what doesn't have to happen, how it's gonna happen, who loves me, who doesn't love me, is there money, there's no money, there is money, there is food, all these question marks, school, showing up to speak, taking care of Kim. Will I continue to live here? I mean, I got question marks everywhere. But the one area that does not have a question mark, it has a huge exclamation point, is that I'm an alcoholic. I can even have a question mark of whether there's a God or not. I can even have a question mark of whether this program will work for me or not. But the one area I don't ever want to have a question mark is whether I'm an alcoholic or not. Because when I have that exclamation point, Theresa, you are an alcoholic. everything anchors me from there. Because I go, oh, I'm an alcoholic. You see what I'm saying? That means my perception is distorted. I'm powerless, not over people, places, things. Thank you. I'm not powerless over my mother being sick and not people, places. The nurses are being mean to me and rude, belittling, condescending. I'm not powerless over that. I am powerless over my alcoholism that's centered in my thinking. And my life is unmanageable when I listen to it and I take action on it. I'm an alcoholic. I need to be restored to sanity. That's how I'm straight up. That's how I need to be restored to sanity. I don't need to figure out all those question marks. What I need to do is I need to believe that a power greater than me is going to restore me to sanity. That's what I need to do right now. That's why when I go, give me a minute, I can't figure all that out. What I'm going to do with the brain, surgery, y'all coming at me with a lot of information. Give me a second. I got to go treat my alcoholism. I got to make a decision to turn my will and my life over to the care of God. Nobody else's. My life. My alcoholic life. My disease. That's a soul sickness. I have a soul sickness. I got to make a decision that there is a power that's going to be able to address this. Because I can't wish it away. I can't wish away nothing. I need to trust that power. The one that you said lies inside of me. The one that I saw in each and every one of you. Well, how am I supposed to do that? I got to go clean house. And then I got to go tell somebody. And they be calling me, you coming back in? Give me a minute. You know what I'm saying? Do I need to come right now? Give me a couple more minutes. I got to clean house. I got to treat my alcoholism. And I tell somebody my faults, not my rights, my faults. I'm being selfish right now. I'm self-seeking. I don't want to do this. I don't want to participate. I'm the baby. I don't like it. My wrongs, not my rights. Look at my fears. Why do I have them? God, remove them. I have defects of character. God, please, am I entirely ready? Absolutely. They only get in the way. They're going to make a mess. The Avengers. They're going to come in this situation, they're going to demolish everything, and they're not going to help nobody. I don't need the Avengers. God, I don't want the Avengers. They cannot come to the rescue. I can't have them. I need you. I Dream a Genie, be with, whatever. I need you. Get rid of them. Have I caused any harm? Thank God I haven't, because I kept my mouth shut. And perhaps I'm going to need to make amends to mommy. I don't know. We'll work on that. We'll make a list. I'm willing to do it. Let's do it. And then I go back in and then I watch. It's a trip. I go back in there and I'm quiet, boy. And I'm watching, man. You know what I'm saying? As they're talking, I'm watching. So it comes up, you know what I mean? It rears his head. And I'm like, ooh, okay, we need turn. Nope. Hold up. It's a trip. Hold up a second. We can't be dealing with you right now. I watch. I ask, remove, turn. How can I be of service? I'll tell you this real quick. It's a trip. My nephew been around me for longest. Maddox, I love him, man. Him and I are like road dogs on this. And he told me, he learned this from me. This stuff is contagious. He said, I was sitting with Abuela and I was getting all the trauma and the fears of what happened with dad. But then I remembered, asked that to be removed. And I got in the moment, he was like, just focus on holding Abuela's hand. Let's just focus on holding Abuela's hand. And we'll process all that later. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's what I do. What do I need to do here, God? Remove whatever's in the way. Let's do this. And then I stay in prayer meditation. I be pausing, breathing. I breathe in, I breathe out. I be talking to people, I breathe in. And then I have moments where the me comes out. And I always say it's like the movies. You know what I mean? I have a me that come out like, help me. I don't want to do this. Come back in. Breathe in, breathe out. I align myself with God. Why? Because I can't get anxious, fear, depression, Self-pity, that's my compass. That can't help me. I need to stay in alignment. I need to be armed. I say I go in there with my army, man. My army is a spiritual army. And I stand with God, side by side. We stand together. He's in me, all around me. God, you speak for me. God is my voice. God is my ears. God is my eyes. It is all with me. And the steps took me there. I can't do that on my own, folks. I can't cognitively make that up. I have to go through that process so that I can be there. And then I stand in there, and then what do I end up doing? Being of service. I be of service. How can I help you? How can I help you? What is it that I need to do? That's how we do this. And I keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. I answer the phone. I show up at the meeting. Sometimes there's not a newcomer. I ask the janitor, how can I help you? You know what I mean? To get out of self. I'm grateful that I know I'm an alcoholic today. For me to drink is to die, folks. So regardless of what's going on in my life, the miracles that happen around here, the miracle is not that a daughter is showing up for her mother who always hated her life, or I hated her, love-hate relationship. That's not the miracle. The miracle that's just happened around here is that I haven't had a thought to drink. That trips me out, yo. Not a thought has occurred to me to drink. That is the miracle. That is the treasure. That I'm sober. What? And that is true for anyone in here if you knew. But there's a disclaimer. That is true for all of us and any of us as long as we are in fit spiritual condition. How do I get there? Through the map. So I want to thank you for my life. God must have made the way, open up the what do you call the waves like Moses, because the phone didn't ring. They've been calling me every minute because nobody else can talk to mommy but me. I mean, literally, they think she's a crazy lady and they're strapping her down and giving fucking Sarah Cruel. They're like, this woman is crazy. They got her strapped down to the bed. And now they got me on FaceTime. You should see, they always calling me. And I'd be like, mommy, what are you doing? Leave those nice ladies alone. They'd be like, she's calm. Like, how do you handle this woman? She's scaring the nurses and everybody. Oh my goodness, you guys. You've done a 12-step call on me. I hope I made some kind of sense. I know that if I didn't, I'm planting seeds for somebody and myself. And as I usually say to God, I swear, this is what I be telling God in our staff meetings. I swear this better help somebody. This better help somebody. I swear. This better make a difference in somebody's life because I am not going through this for no reason. Whoever thought that all the crap we go through in life has nothing to do with torturing me with it. It has everything to do with how it's going to be useful and beneficial to others. So thank you for my life. Thank you for my sobriety. I need some prayers right now as much as possible because I am definitely going through it, y'all. I've got a woof. I'm on a ride, man. But we can do this and we'll do this together as long as we stay sober. Thank you.